What's up guys, XHOUNDISHx here with this week's vendor breakdown for June the 27th up until July the 4th. We're going to take a look at the best weapon rolls you can pick up in the tower, as well as any very well rolled armor that you can grab this week. So at the Crucible Quartermaster, we have a pretty nice B29 party favor right here. We've got Reflex, Quick Draw IS, and OEG scopes. We have Outlaw right there, or Life Support. In the middle column, we've got Braced Frame or Appended Magazine, and finally Head Seeker. So Head Seeker, Outlaw, pretty nice combination. You can go Braced Frame and you'll have a ton of stability, but that's going to be 20 rounds in the magazine, I believe. Or you could go Appended Magazine and bump that magazine up. You will have lower stability, but in general, this is one of the better party favor rolls that you'll find. We have a decent hero formula as well, so if you can go with the red dot ORA scope right there, we also have ranged lens and OEG, so no quick draw or reflex, but we do have Zen Moment or Last Resort. We've got perfect balance or armor piercing rounds, and then finally reactive reload. So this right here might make for a pretty nice PvP scout rifle. You've got to mention the palindrome, it's kind of a rule. So we got True Sight, Sure Shot IS, and Quick Draw. We have Hot Swap or Partial Refund, Hammer Forged or Lightweight, and finally Third Eye. So Hammer Forged is going to give it kind of close to that max range, not quite though. We do have Third Eye, so if that's your kind of thing, and Hot Swap for bonus accuracy, Sure Shot as well. It might be something to mess around with, but it's definitely not one of the god rolls. We have a fairly decent each new day right here, so we've got the Reflex Scope, Red Dot ORE, and OEG scopes. We've got knee pads or Underdog right there. We have Small Bore for more range and stability, or Accelerated Coils, and finally Rangefinder. So Rangefinder with Small Bore for more stability and range is fairly decent. I would probably go knee pads. I like this on fusion rifles. Underdog is an interesting one, probably nothing you're really going to want to try out, but overall, not a bad roll of the each new day. The curtain call is not too bad this week, so we've got Smart Drift, Accurized Ballistics, and Soft Ballistics. We have Replenish, which is going to be pretty nice for your PvP stuff in terms of special ammo. Also have Life Support right there. Rifle Barrel, so you've got the upper end of those range stats. You also have the option of Quick Draw, and finally Final Round. So Final Round with Rifle Barrel and then Replenish could be pretty nice for the Crucible. The Continental may be worth looking at this week. So in the sights, we've got Reflex, we've got Steady Hand IS and OEG scopes. We have Focused Fire or Hip Fire right there. Pretty interesting that they're both in this first slot. We have Braced Frame, which will give you a ton of stability at the expense of mag size, which isn't terrible on this weapon. I mean, it's got decent magazine size. We also have armor piercing rounds, and then finally Persistence, which is fairly decent for this kind of auto rifle. So perhaps if you are into focused fire on this particular archetype, this might be one for you to try out. Parthian Shot, if you're into the take a knee variety of weapons, is interesting. So we've got Red Dot ORA, Sure Shot IS, and OEG. Sure Shot's pretty nice. We've got Eye of the Storm or Take a Knee. Up next, we've got Perfect Balance, so pretty good stability, or Rifle Barrel for a ton of range, and finally Rangefinder. So perhaps Rangefinder with Perfect Balance, and then Take a Knee, maybe something interesting to some of you folks, but it's definitely not a god roll that we've seen before. Angel's Advocate for PvP, maybe. We've got Hidden Hand, we've got Perfect Balance, or Hammer Forged right there. We have Rodeo, which I don't rate a ton on this type of scout rifle, although it's okay, I guess. We also have Who's Next, and then Red Dot ORA 2, Ranged Lens, and OEG, so no reflex scope right there, but this may interest some folks. Occam's Razor could be a fun PvE shotgun right here. So we've got Linear Compensator, Field Choke, and Soft Ballistics. We have Close and or Personal, and then Battle Runner. We've got Hammer Forge for a bit more range and accuracy, or Perfect Balance, and finally Crowd Control. So perhaps Crowd Control with Hammer Forged and Close and or Personal. This could be pretty fun in PvE stuff for sure. If you don't have a good version of the Waltz from FWC, this might be okay. So we've got MD Reflex, Steady Hand IS, and OEG scopes. We have Armor Piercing Rounds or Quick Draw right there. Quick Draw, I guess, is not too bad. We have Hammer Forge for a bunch of range and accuracy, or Feeding Frenzy, and finally Counterbalance, that all-important stability stat. We're not getting it up there, so to speak, but nonetheless, there are some good bonuses right here. This may be one of the better rolls you've had the opportunity to grab of the Waltz right there. The Wounded has some nice perks for PvE or PvP, to be fair. So we've got Crowd Control, Small Bore, or Triple Tap right there. First column is Armor Piercing Rounds or Quick Draw, so not super exciting. Quick Draw, maybe okay. And then we've got the Reflex Scope, which is nice, and two different ranged lens or rifle scope options right there. So, Crowd Control, you've got the option of Small Bore for more stability and range, or Triple Tap. There's definitely some stuff to play around with there. The warpath this week is fairly decent, so we have the all-important cluster bombs. Up next we've got heavy payload or tripod. Tripod's going to be pretty nice for holding 3 shells. And then we've got flared magwell to reload quicker. And we also have, quick draw there as well. We've got warhead veneers, soft launch, and hard launch right there. So in terms of, quick reloads, a bunch of rockets in the magazine, and cluster bombs, this could be pretty nice for PvE stuff. Keystone from Dead Orbit is a pretty interesting one this week. So we have the MD reflex scope, focus lens, and OEG rifle scopes. We have armor piercing rounds or full auto right there, which we haven't seen too much on this thing. We also have hammer forge for a bunch of range and accuracy. We've got outlaw and finally hidden hand. So this is very, very nice all around. This could be a lot of fun in PvP. You don't have particularly high stability, which may be a little bit difficult to use with full auto, but nonetheless, this is a pretty interesting role. The assembly at New Monarchy is fairly decent this week, so we have reflex scopes, quick draw IS, and OEG rifle scope. We've got high caliber rounds, and then lightweight right there. Up next, perfect balance or hot swap, and finally hidden hand. So across here is pretty interesting for PvP, and it's one of the better roles. So hidden hand, that more target acquisition is good. This thing is spraying all over the place. Perfect balance gives you decent stability. It's still going to recoil a lot, but you do have high caliber rounds, which is pretty nasty on this archetype of auto rifle. The deposition sniper may be interesting for some of you guys. So we've got in the sights Wild Hawk, Ambush, and Eagle Eye. Ambush is always pretty nice. We've got explosive rounds or lightweight. Up next, hammer forged or clown cartridge, and finally hidden hand. So bonus target acquisition, clown cartridge, a chance to grant a larger than normal magazine, and maybe explosive rounds. This could be okay for PvE stuff, or perhaps even PvP, if this is your kind of flavor. So that about sums up the best weapon rolls for the week, guys. Now I'm going to jump in and take a look at any 98 to 100% rolled armor for the week. So Zavala, the Titan Vanguard, has a 98% roll on the Vitruvius Mark for the Titan with Discipline Strength. We have 98% rolled Hunter Gauntlets from the Hunter Vanguard with Discipline Strength, and there's also a 98% Tower Watch Shell with Discipline Strength. Eris Morn has Cloak of the Dusk Torn with Intellect Strength at 100%, which is pretty nice. And we also have right here the Curse of the Hidden with 98% Intellect Discipline. The Eon Tracer Bond for the Warlock from FWC is 98% Discipline Strength. We have 98% rolled Titan Boots from Dead Orbit with Intellect Strength, as well as this, a 98% rolled Diaspora Shell from Dead Orbit with Intellect Discipline. New Monarchy brings the High Command Cloak for the Hunter with a 100% roll of Discipline Strength, which is pretty nice. We also have 98% rolled Titan Boots from New Monarchy with Discipline Strength, and a Senator Shell with 98% Intellect Strength. Tyra's artifacts are a little bit lackluster, so we've got an intellect roll at 84% for Memory of Perun, which is pretty terrible. Memory of Timur with strength right there of 91%. And then finally we have Memory of Fellwinter, which is 320% discipline strength, but of course you will lose your super. So there we go, guys. That is the vendor and armor stat roll breakdown for the week from 27th of June up until the 4th of July. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, a like and comment below is appreciated. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe if you want to see a lot more Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 content here on the channel. But for now, thanks for watching and have an awesome week.